In number 31, we're faced with a modeling problem. It says the number of bacteria Y in a culture is a function of the number of hours X the culture has been growing. The initial number of bacteria present in a culture is 50. We see that here at time 0. And the number of bacteria in the culture for each hour is represented in this table. Notice X, or hours, is increasing by 1 each time, whereas the values in Y are increasing by a factor of 3. Each Y value is multiplied by 3 to get the next Y value. This is an exponential function, and we can model it using the equation y equals a times b to the x. Remember, a represents the initial value, so we can plug in 50 for a, and b is the base, or the factor that we are repeatedly multiplying by, in this case 3 to the x. This is part B, where it says write the function that models the data. In part C, it asks us to use this function to predict how many bacteria there will be after 9 hours. So rewrite your function, substituting 9 for x, and calculate. The resulting number of bacteria is 984,150 bacteria. Now I'd like to solve the same problem for you using the calculator. The steps in the calculator are to first edit the data, or enter the data in using stat edit. Then we'll run a regression procedure under stat calc, and it is under 0 HAlg2BFRev, or exponential regression, that will find the procedure that we need. In your calculator, we go first to stat edit, which is number 1, or just enter. And if you need to clear your data, as we do here, we're going to go up, press clear, and come down again to see the data disappear. Let's enter the data. Put the x values in list 1, 0, enter, and so on. Then we'll move over to list 2 and enter our y values. Always double check that you've entered the data that you wanted to enter. Now that we're finished entering our data, we'll hit stat again to go to the procedure that we want. We need to go over to the right to calc, and then we're going to scroll down through all of the options until we find 0 exponential reg. We can either hit 0 or hit enter at this point, and then hit enter again for it to run the procedure. Notice it gives us the same form of the equation, y equals a times b to the x, where the initial value is 50, the base is 3, and if we then want to enter that data in, or that equation, into y equals 50 times 3 to the x, we can go to the data table, or second graph, to see different x values, so different numbers of hours. They asked us how many to find how many bacteria there will be after 9 hours, so we scroll down till we get x equals 9, and we look at the resulting number of bacteria, and we get 984,150, the same number that we found doing the problem by hand without the calculator.